Welcome to another episode of Video Breakdown. This week I have Glory and Gore Remastered. Of all the videos I've ever done in the past video breakdown series, this is definitely one that takes the cake. I put so much time and effort. I was really meticulous about the clips I used. It was a crazy, time spent making this video. So let's get to it. Alright, so the way this video is broken up into it's broken up into 4 parts: special effects, interesting edits, alternate clips, and my favorite parts. And we'll get to those as we go along. Before we can do anything, we have to do the classic zoom out. Alright, so this is what it all looks like on the cutting board. You can see there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of stacked clips. I'll get into some of the specifics about other clips and whatnot, so just stay tuned. So for the first part, we have special effects. Special effects are basically the stuff that I went above and beyond. Just the stuff that were just the wild things that happened throughout the video. For the first special effect, we have the split screen. Now this is the first thing you'll see in the video. Basically what I did for this is I used the crop effect, cropped a clip of Goku and a clip of Vegeta. I cropped it on the sides, so on the left and right sides, and on the top and bottom. And I cropped it to about a little bit more than 50%. I think it's like about 51%, and that's just to give it a windowed look. And what this windowed look was, what I was trying to do was I was trying to get that kind of manga kind of looking kind of thing going on. Maybe not so much. Maybe it didn't come off across that way to you, but I don't know. It kind of worked. So yeah, there it is. And for the second split screen, basically it's the same exact technique, except instead of cropping it vertically, it's cropped horizontally. So it gives it kind of a different look a little bit, but it's pretty much the same thing. The only thing that's really majorly different is the fact that it's keyframe to move. And basically what that means is that I would put different points in the the editing board of where to move the position of the clips. I originally wanted the first split screen to move the same way the second one did, but the thing was that it was the first clip in the entire video, and I didn't want to be all up in your face about it, so I decided to make it the second one and just kind of go with it. So for this next one, I'm not sure exactly what you might call it, but I called it the camera slide. Basically what this is a keyframe crop. It goes from right to left, and basically it goes from 50% to the right, 50% to the left. And the reason why I did this is because it kind of put a little more focus on Goku and more focus on Vegeta when it goes to their parts in the clip. Now, for the biggest effect that I have throughout the video is the Popout Effect. So this is pretty simple actually. Basically what I did was I found the clip that I wanted to use. I would duplicate that original clip. I would stack it on top of the original clip. Then I would keyframe the scale or the size. I'd boost it by 150. That was a pretty standard boost. Was 150. That's I had to try to keep it similar to all the other clips that I used for that pop-out effect. And then I would keyframe the opacity or the visibility from 100% to 0%. Now sometimes that would change. Sometimes it'd be 75. Sometimes it'd be 50%. It kind of varied. It just depends on how it looked best. Now for another one, I have the Trunks / Vegeta transition. So the way this works is basically for the Trunks and Vegeta transition, it's broken up into 6 beats. That's for Trunks, and then 7 beats for Vegeta. And the reason why it's broken up for 6 for Trunks is because Trunks has a half beat, and for the clip, to put in that half beat, it just didn't look very good. So I just decided to go with 6 beats instead of 7. So each beat has a different clip, and each clip features Trunks or Vegeta in chronological order. Trunks' clips are cropped into 17% increments, and Vegeta's clips are cropped into 14% increments. Basically what the opacity does, it kind of creates a flash, and it also creates sort of a movement. The way the clips are laid out and set up, it kind of creates sort of a movement looking, it kind of feels like it's just moving. For our second part, we have interesting edits. Interesting edits is basically stuff that are a little bit out of the ordinary, a little bit strange, and just stuff like that. For the first interesting edit, we have the Goku Battle of Gods First Impact clip. And basically this clip is cut into two parts. One part is normal, and the other one is slowed down. The reason I did this is because that if I had the entire clip the way it is normally and slowed it down, it would have been just too slow, and I wanted to get enough movement and action into that clip, to that that part you see in the video, to give it enough just impact and energy and action as possible. The next interesting edit is the Trunks Classic Punch. So the Trunks Punch clip is basically very similar to the Battle of Gods Impact clip. Basically what I did was I cut the footage off at a certain point. I then duplicated that footage. The footage was cut frame by frame to slow down the video. Then the frames were duplicated, then each frame was keyframed for the right scale and opacity. For my third interesting edit is the Vegeta Bloody Mouth Wipe. For this interesting edit, basically what I did was I cut the footage off before Vegeta starts talking. Then I cut one frame of Vegeta opening his mouth. Then I duplicated that frame 3 times because Dragon Ball Z does animation and sets to 3s. And then continued the footage when Vegeta wipes his mouth with his hand. And for my fourth interesting edit, I have the Vegeta That's Why We're Making Headlines clip. The reason why this clip is interesting is because there's a small visual imperfection. Basically all I did was cut out a single frame, and then it's pretty much as good as gold. Alternative clips are things that didn't make the cut. These are things that just didn't look right, just didn't have the right flair, or it just, I don't know, it just didn't feel right with the music. And finally we have my favorite parts. These are just a bunch of stuff that I really liked during the making of this video. So the first thing is definitely the special effect edits. All of those just add so much more production value and more, just makes it look so much better. I wouldn't have had this ability to do this making the original video. So these special effects just add so much more to the remastered version of the video. I also love the fact that a lot of the footage I used was different, so it made the video look so fresh and new. One of my favorite parts is actually where Goku's back is turned towards the camera, and I don't know why, it just looks really cool, and it keeps it kind of mysterious in a way. So it's just one of my favorite parts. I also like the part where Goku is flying through the air with Piccolo in the back. I think it just looks like it's a really cool shot, and just I guess credit to original animators for making that shot. And again, another just credit to the animators for making this shot again, is the Goku Weird the Gladiator's eyes clip. Moving on to Trunks, something that I really liked was the fact that Trunks' parts and clips and footage, it all felt very varied. It felt different, and it makes a little more sense. In the original video, it just was just kind of things I tossed out there, put together, without any sort of rhyme or reason, but with this, it makes just a little more sense. Another thing that I really loved about Trunks' parts is the fact that it's mirrored, and what I mean by that is, in the beginning, he first loses to 17 and 18, and then he wins against Frieza, then he wins and loses to Cell, then he wins against 18, then loses by dying, and then finally wins with 17-18 at the end. So the first part and the second part, and a lot in between, are very mirrored. The very A and B, opposites of each other, sort of a yin and yang, sort of a chocolate and peanut butter situation going on there. I wasn't exactly sure how I felt about Vegeta's footage, just because it felt so different from the other, parts for Trunks and Goku, that it just felt a little off, but I think ultimately it made it look different than the original video. Similar to what I did with Trunks is I actually mirrored Goku and Vegeta's parts. So Goku's parts are told, in a linear fashion, with the story, as far as the story goes. It goes from A to B, but with Vegeta's parts, it goes from B to A. So there's sort of mirroring going on with Goku and Vegeta's parts. One part that I really liked from the Vegeta section is the Vegeta falling clip. I don't know why, it just kind of reminded me of like some sort of like falling angel kind of thing. The symbology, I guess. I don't know why, it just reminded me of that. Another part that I really liked was the Vegeta dash towards Frieza. I don't know why, it just looked really cool, especially with the Popout Effect. Just kind of gave that pizzazz, I guess. And finally, for my last favorite part, it is the Vegeta Glory and Gore goes hand in hand clip. I wasn't sure about the clip, it was just kind of off, but what I liked about it was the fact that it's sort of a nod to the original video. Alright, thank you for watching this video breakdown, Glory and Gore, Remastered. I apologize for being, taking so much time. Hopefully you enjoy the new format. Tell me what you think. Should it be longer, shorter? Should be more information? Tell me anything. I like criticism. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I can do more of these.